Hi guys, welcome to David Moore Engineering. So you guys probably got to see us recently on the video with Ricky where he brought down Scott's 308 engine. Now that was a really nice day for us. It was the first time we got to meet Ricky. Me and him got to talk all about the business and what we do, the stand we do, the tools. I mean, he came down with the whole team and videoed everything. That's how you guys got to see it. And that was a really nice day. It was great to meet Ricky and the whole team. But I'll be honest, we was a little bit nervous about the YouTube video going out. It's nothing that we've really ever got into or done or been involved in. And we was all a little bit nervous. We didn't think many people would be interested in what it is we do here, or, you know, we just didn't think anyone would be that into it. But we couldn't have been more wrong. So there was loads of people that threw up comments and likes across the video. Loads of people started following our Instagram and our Facebook. We had messages from people, emails. People were messaging through the website, sort of saying how much they watched the video, loved the video, and that they wanted to see more. So me and the guys in the workshop, we spoke about it, and whilst we're doing Scott's 308 block and the rest of his job, we thought it might be worth us making some videos so that you guys that are following Scott, following Ricky, and following this whole series of videos, you'd be able to see here what we're going to do, the processes we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and exactly what's involved in our side of this before it goes back to Ricky. So today we're going to start on Scott's block. And we're going to show you today the processes that we do before we do any machining to make sure that the block is okay, that there's no problems, and then we'll go from there. Later on, we'll go through how we recondition the con rods, how we check them properly. So we'll be able to go through all of that with you. We'll show you the crank. There's not going to be too much work in Scott's crank, luckily for him, because Ferrari cranks are really well made. They're nitrided. So they do wear, but this one on the initial measurement seemed very good. So Scott might be lucky in getting away with that. And then there'll definitely be a few videos in the cylinder heads because there's quite a bit of work in them. So we can go through, you guys will get to see exactly how we refresh all of those. So what we will do, let's get you and the block down to the workshop and we'll start showing you that. But in the meantime, can I ask you guys to like and subscribe to the channel so that we can keep making you content, and we'll see you downstairs. Right guys, so we've got you down into the workshop, and what our first steps is we are gonna get the cylinder block pressure tested. So we need to block off all of the coolant passages. So what we do, we fit rubber plates and block everything off. We've got plates for all over the block, so that we can basically fill the block up with some air and get it dipped into the hot pressure testing tank over here. And then basically if we see air bubbles underwater, then that's not good and it means there's a problem with the block. So unless we know where they're coming from and why they're coming from there. So what we'll do, we'll get all of this fitted up and then we'll be able to show you it in the pressure tester, a bit of that happening, and we can see just how good his block is. Whilst I'm going through this, guys, I want to firstly say a big thank you to Ross. He's behind the camera currently, so he's a good friend of ours and he's offered to help us with some videos to start with and see how we get on. So I'm sure you guys will hear and see a bit of him along the way. And yeah, as you can see, what we're doing here, we are just trying to take up the gap in the studs. We don't want to bother pulling studs out of the block just yet. So we've got plates on, we just need to get all of these down. And then we can start thinking about pressure testing. So we're gonna break the machine down, make room for the block, on the machine, see what we can do. So every job here is different, and the machine is designed to pressure test anything, but that means it's always got some limitations. You know, you got to adapt for different jobs. So we'll get these studs out of the way and get the 308 block on there. Right guys, so now we've got the block mounted onto the pressure tester. What we do, and if you guys come forward a little bit, you'll be able to see. So we've got a big hot water tank. We're currently at 70 degrees, so we're semi-close to the coolant jacket's operating temperature. And we've closed everything off. We then fill it up with air. So the engine block is now filled up with compressed air. So we're at about 2 bars, so it's actually over the operating temperature when it's running in the car. And then on this machine, we're able to lower the block into the water, and we are able to rotate the whole block over and see if we're getting any bubbles. So first place here, but this is just our airline connection weeping a bit, so that's not a concern to us. So over here we got some bubbles. Now that might be our plate being slightly loose, but we will check that out. And then what we're able to do with engine blocks is we are able to roll them over completely and see everything. So what we can do later in the video, you guys are going to be able to see how Ferrari fit their liners. So Ferrari liners they're slip fit, so they're not in the block massively tight, and they have an O-ring to seal them. So if Ross can get in here, you'll be able to see this liner is bubbling down in here, which means the O-ring is probably perished, and therefore it might have been leaking in the car. Now, Ricky didn't say anything about that, but when we pressure test blocks here, because we pressure test with air, not water, and we're at a higher pressure than what would be in the car, we find leaks here that you don't get in the car. So generally speaking, if it passes pressure test on this, it's absolutely perfect for the car. So if I get a torch, we might be able to see a bit more. So we can go over. So we got a couple of liners, which doesn't seem to be too much of a concern because the liners will be coming back out. If you look over the other side, you can see some more liners just weeping past there. And if we come to the outside of the block down here, all of that looks okay. And what we're looking for here is predominantly we're looking for damaged castings or plugs that aren't going to be replaced. So if a cylinder block is cracked or corroded, if we find it here, it means we can send the block for welding before we start doing any machining. So again, all of this goes straight through to the coolant jacket, and we're not seeing problems there. These 2 plugs, they're absolutely fine. They're not leaking, so they're not a concern to us. Again, all down the side of the block, no problems. We've got the underside, and then if we look down the back, again, we're not seeing any problems. So again, Scott seems to be pretty lucky with this block. I think the next step for us, we're going to have to get the block out of the pressure tester, take all of the plates off, get tidied up, and then what we're going to be doing is putting the block into the oven and getting the liners out and the studs out so that we can see what we see inside the block. Just because corrosion hasn't gone through to the outside doesn't mean there isn't corrosion for us to think about inside the block. But what we are going to do, leave this block in here for about 5, 10, up to 15 minutes, let the block get up to full temperature, and we'll do one final check before we pull it out. So guys, after we've obviously got the block pressure tested, like we said earlier, the next steps, we're just going to pull the plates back off, get everything tidied up, and then the block is going to go in the oven here. And with this job in particular, because we're going to try to reuse the liners, what we'll do, we'll mark up the liners, mark up the block, keep everything in order, get liners and studs out of it, and then hopefully we're going to see inside the block. I'll be able to show you guys the O-rings that we was talking about that you saw leaking in the pressure test, and how the Ferrari liners are all fitted into the block. And then what we will do is from there we can start looking at actually getting it back to a usable condition. So we can refresh the liners, we'll be skimming the cylinder block and resetting all of the liner heights. Again, we'll go through that in a later video so I can explain that in a proper bit of detail. But yeah, one of the things we do want you guys to do as well, because we're a little bit unsure here of exactly what you guys are going to want to see. So do you guys want to see a bit more of what we're doing in this video, where we're trying to show you how we do what we do, so that you guys can learn a little bit? Would you like to know a bit more about me and the guys who work here? Do you want to see more of the customers and, you know, the cars and some of the people we get to meet along the way? We're quite interested to know what you guys want to see more of. So if you can put in the comments anything you'd want to see, anything you'd like to see, hopefully we can do some more videos for you.
A few moments later.
Right, guys, so unfortunately we didn't get any footage of us getting the lines out from the oven, but basically what you can see here, so these are our Ferrari liners. Now, they are original. You can see this marking here, so that you get on all of the original Ferrari liners, so you can see it here. And what you can see, so we've got all the liners and studs out of the block, which is going to allow us to reface the block, reset liner heights and everything else. So if Ross can get in here, what you can see is down here now. I've got to be careful because the block's still hot from being in the oven, but right here is where the O-ring seals the liner. So again, if we now look here, so you can see at the bottom of the Ferrari liners, you've got an O-ring here. And you can see how it's sort of deformed to the shape that's inside the block. So as the liner is pressed down by the cylinder head, it should compress that O-ring until the liner sits on this face in the block. So what we have to do whenever we refresh one of these blocks, basically any material you take off of here, you also have to remove the liner down that much, because there's particular numbers specified by Ferrari, and over the years we've slightly adapted them to what we know works with the head gaskets, so that basically that liner should be sitting above the aluminium by a very specific amount, whilst crushing that rubber O-ring in order to seal the coolant jacket. So again, if Ross comes round and can get in, you're able to see that on a 308 block, this is one coolant jacket shared across both sides of the block. So, which is different to a lot of blocks, but on the Ferraris, they're a really nice thing. So, just to keep you guys posted about what the plans are now for Scott's 308, we're basically going to have to get this cleaned up properly. We've passed pressure tests. The block doesn't need any welding. We managed to get all of the head studs out, which is surprising. It took quite a bit of time, but we've got a bit of a method for getting those out that we sort of, you know, we do it quite a lot. So, and then what we're going to be doing next is we'll get the liners blasted, cleaned up, and then we'll be able to flick them through with a hone, and that will then allow us to tell what the finish size of these is going to be. And then once we get the pistons back from Ricky needs to send them down. We can measure them up, work out exactly where our clearances are going to be. And if we're happy to reuse these liners, between me and Ricky, we'll sort of set that tolerance that we allow if it's outside of spec. That's not to say it's going to be. And then we'll be able to, once the block's all cleaned up, looking good, we'll be able to go ahead, reface both of these faces. And the important bit is to make sure that we're refacing these true to the crankshaft center line. So again, hopefully now I've mentioned that, when Ricky's building this, he might be able to point out to you guys that the heights of the pistons basically need to be equal so that you're getting the right compression ratios on both sides. So that bit of our machining is really important, making sure that this is dead flat, dead true to the crankshaft and is equal on both sides of the V8. And then what you'll see is basically we will be able to fit the liners with no O-ring and be able to measure that distance down. And then what we do, pull the liners out, fit the O-rings, push them home, and they basically get their final squash during build. It's actually the cylinder heads bolting down that will crush that O-ring home for the final time. So we have done a bit of extra work this evening. I couldn't help myself, but I want this block to look as good for Scott as possible. So we have pulled all of the studs out of the block. We're going to make sure that they're all replated. So that's just a little bit, I just couldn't do all of the work here without putting that extra little bit of effort in, because it's going to be a real shame to, she's still hot. It's going to be a real shame to do so much nice machining work onto this. I know Ricky's going to do a really great job of building it, and I couldn't bear the thought of putting the old studs back in. So we are going to go through them, we'll deal with them and get them replated. So again, you'll get to see a bit of our finishing processes as to how we like to make things look as good as they're machined. And I think that's going to be it for the preparations on the block. So once again, guys, I want to ask you to comment below about what you'd like to see more of in our next videos, like the video, and if you can subscribe to the channel so that we can keep making new videos. Until next time, we'll see you then.